What is good, y'all? Kip up here, and here we are for a draft analysis. Now, I did draft for MLP Season 5, as did our 23 other members. Yes, we did jump up 4 members, which will be really interesting. We also changed some rules to where, we have, 4 divisions and 2 conferences, which I think is really interesting. Tapu Lele was banned, and, Kartana was brought back, and Deoxys Defense was brought back, and we can only have, 3 Pokemon with Z moves. Just little rules like that. But anyway, this is the team I've drafted. I'll go through each mon really quickly. I don't want to make this drag on like the first draft analysis video I did. That was like 40 minutes of me just showing off sets. Basically, just want to talk about what every mon does and things like that, what my Z moves are, and then maybe go over my week one team. I actually did play week 1 way before I even recorded this. So that's interesting, but I did want to get this out of the way just to show you guys what you guys will be seeing a lot. Of course, if you guys do like League play, please like, comment, and subscribe for more. I do bring a lot of League and lives and Student Nuzlocke. But anyway, the point is, here's the team I got. My Mega was Megayarados. Now let's go over this real quick. Megayarados has fantastic stats, most notably in attack and speed def. Now the reason I'm not pointing out anything else too much is because base 130 speed def is so good. Base 130 speed def allows me to take a lot of hits, be able to Dragon Dance up through that hit, and then just move on and start sweeping teams. One of my favorite sets is Rest Talk. So this would be Rest, Sleep Talk, Dragon Dance, and anything from Crunch to Waterfall to anything like that. Max speed def, a little bit of speed investment, and Adamant with a little bit of attack investment. Fantastic set because it allows me to boost while still keeping a lot of health and then having one move to just go through teams. Now, additionally, something I need to show is that this thing has so much coverage. Not that you would really want to run it specially because it only has base 70 special attack, but look at the moves it gets. It has Avalanche and Blizzard, Crunch, Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse, Dragon Tail, Earthquake, 2 important fire moves, even Hurricane, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Ice Fang, and Iron Head, Outrage, things like that. I know I'm just throwing off moves right now just talking about them, but they are so good. Things like Roar, if I had Spikes on my team, I would love having Roar. Stone Edge, Thunderbolt, Waterfall is its best, Water Stab. Even Bounce would be interesting, but the point is this thing is so versatile. It can be run offensively or defensively, or at least speed def when it comes to the defensive side. You can honestly run both if you come up with a great set. Something that's really hard to counter, and I have a lot of ways to check fighting types that would, otherwise destroy this. So all in all, I do feel like Megayarados is great for the team. So much coverage. Speed def is through the roof. It can help me win games and just D-dance up and sweep. Super excited to get this. I had Mega Scizor last year, and while I did really like Mega Scizor, I don't really feel like I used it well enough until the end of the year, where it got 8 kills at the end of the year. It was really good. But hopefully Megayarados, because it's normally only used on the offensive side, I'll be able to use it as well as possible. Next up, we do have Victini. I did franchise it from last year. Not much to be said about this mon that you already don't know. So much coverage. Couldn't even run AV. Not really the defensive type. Its typing is not great defensively, but its move pool is stupid. And Victory Star allows you to hit more often. So look at these moves: Bolt Strike, Energy Ball, Final Gambit if you're running a Scarf set. Flamethrower, Flame Charge for sweeping, Focus Blast, Fusion Bolt, even Grass Knot, things like that. U-Turn for momentum. You can get Trick. V-Create is, I think, the strongest fire move in the game. Might be the strongest move in the game. I'm honestly unsure. That's not a Z move. Also gets Bounce for no good reason. Glaciate's fantastic. I used Glaciate in my week 1 set, and it put in a ton of work. Overall, I absolutely love Victini. The big thing about it is item versatility. It's a fantastic Scarfer. You can E-Belt it to bluff Choice, which is what I did in my week 1. AV, as I said, is pretty good. You can run borderline anything. It can be Choice in any way, and it'll be great. You can trick that off even. I don't like Life Orb a lot because Victini does take a lot from rocks, so that makes it just a little bit harder to come in every time. So because it doesn't have reliable recovery, which is one of the few things it lacks, Life Orb can really wear it down unless you like saved it until the end of the game. But overall, absolutely love Victini. I'm so glad I got to keep it for another year. I only used it for, I think, what, like 4 or 5 weeks, and it ended up with, I think, a kill in like every game. It was absolutely incredible, and yeah, just overall super glad to have Victini. Next up, we do have Lemonbug. Lemonbug is back. In case you're wondering why I name it Lemonbug, there we are. That's why I name it Lemonbug. Anyway, I did have Mega Scizor. However, regular Scizor is just as good. I can run Spadef or defensive. I could even run that in combination with Choice Band and still do a ton of damage. Technician plus Priority Bullet Punch is so great. It gets SD, it gets Defog. It's a fantastic defogger. Roost, so reliable recovery. Gets things like Knockoff. It gets Superpower. U-Turn, Bug Bite, that's boosted by Technician. Even things like Counter. It's just so good, and I'm so excited to have it. Not too many counters. Its only weakness is fire, and I do have a lot of fire answers. I do have Megayarados. I could run like AV Victini. Victini can pretty much tank any fire move once anyway, so that's perfectly fine. AV Conch could also take a fire move. Point is, this thing's actually really hard with how my team is set up to really take down. And I could use it in so many ways, and it just be so successful. I'm really glad I got something that I know I can use well, besides Victini. Because every single other Pokemon I have is new to the team. I'm just really happy to have it. Now that I know how to use it as well as possible, I feel like I can do great with it and really wreck some teams with it. So that is super nice. Next up, we have Conkeldurr. Conch is stupid. Besides the fact that it's really slow and its Spadef isn't very respectable, 140 base attack. It gets Sheer Force, so I can absolutely run Life Orb and just destroy teams. Iron Fist for things like Mach Punch. Guts for Flame Orb. So it has 3 fantastic abilities that actually had to be counter teamed. Like, you really had to deal with these 3 abilities. And it's hard to predict if I'm going to bring like Sheer Force or Guts, the main 2. But anyways, move pool is also very respectable. Drain Punch, so semi-reliable recovery. Earthquake, it gets the elemental punches. Additionally, I'm sorry if you heard my phone there. I should probably turn it off. Knockoff, Poison Jab. It can get Rock Slide, Stone Edge. It can even Taunt. Not that it would be that useful. I believe it gets Mach Punch. Let me check. I think it should get Mach Punch. Yeah, I do remember using Mach Punch on it. So that's super nice. It has its own form of priority. Overall, yet again, super glad to have this. I could even run Sub Focus Punch word to Buzzwole. Rest in peace, Buzzwole. I had it the first year. It's gone now. But as per sets, as I said, I can run Flame Orb. I can run Leftovers, Sub, Life Orb for Sheer Force, and its move pool just absolutely allows me to dominate. It's fantastic. Really excited to have it. I love how defensive it is as well. It's not Spadef bulky, but of course we can run Assault Vest as I said. So that's super nice too. Overall, Conch is really nice. I really do like it. Now, I did get sniped because I wanted Mienshao, and then Mienshao got picked like 2 picks before I got to go. So instead I did go with Conch, but of course Conkeldurr is definitely not, like a bad Pokemon by any stretch. I'm so excited to have it, and overall I feel like with my team composition, I have a bunch of Psychic Resists, Scizor, Victini, Gyarados, and then in my later draft I'll show in a minute, I do have more of those. Conkeldurr is just fantastic, and my team composition, it's really great. Next up, we do have Crobat. I am trying to go for a lot of speed here. You do see Victini is super fast. You see these 2 mons have priority, and Rotom-Cut's a great Scarfer. Crobat is another defogger, a more reliable defogger, in my opinion, because of its speed. It has great special attack and attack. I mean, if you look at it, base 90, base 70 aren't too respectable, but it's the fact that it has strong moves. It gets Brave Bird. That's not only really like redeemable physical move it gets, but I mean, it gets U-Turn for priority, even gets Zen Headbutt. Super nice. It has a fair amount of coverage. Additionally, it gets nasty plot. So if I want to run it specially, I can run like Dark Pulse, Sludge Bomb, Heat Wave, even Giga Drain, things like that. Defog, as I said, is super nice. Roost for reliable recovery. It can taunt. It's one of the faster mons in the entire game. So it is very nice to have there. Overall, it's super potent and really hard to deal with. It does give you my second Psychic type, literally just on this page alone. But at the end of the day, I do feel like because of its speed, I can get the heck out of the way of it. The heck out of the way of what I mean by that is Psychic types. U-Turn is obviously super nice. Defog, as I said, overall, really excited to have this. It doesn't look like it does a lot, but the fact that it's so fast and it has reliable recovery plus Brave Bird, plus, you know, it can toxic things, like it's really versatile. I think that's the big deal about it. It's another mon that you really have to counter team. Like for example, with Scizor and Conkeldurr, you'll know, yeah, they're physical attackers. Just bring physical walls. With Crobat, I could absolutely bring a special attacker and just break through his walls, or you know, things like that. Same with Victini. Victini has so much coverage, so I think that's why I love it so much. As for the move pool, it's great on the special side. It's meh on the physical side, but it's so fast and it's a great defogger. And overall, like, it gives me a ton of momentum with the U-turn. You do see that I have a lot of U-turning here. Volt switch. We have 4 out of the 6 mons literally on this page that can Volt Switch or U-Turn. So yeah, I'm just super excited to have it. By the way, FYI, all my names for all these Pokemon are garbage. I'll show you on the team building page. It's absolutely trash. I'll be honest, I'm not good at nicknaming, but I tried. Next up, we do have Rotom-C. This is a grass type that I was actually really glad to get. I grabbed it in like tier 4 or tier 5. It wasn't drafted last year, I believe, but to me it's so nice. Now unfortunately, its only real grass stab is Leaf Storm, which is a little bit rough because that drops my special attack by 2. But still, it's such a potent move. Also with the ability to not get hit by ground type moves, that takes away one of its weaknesses. It can Volt Switch, it can even Will-O-Wisp and Hex. Trick is super nice because if I had a Choice Scarf or Specs or Band, I could even run Band just to screw things. I could trick it off. Hex is really nice. Has a lot of coverage options. It has Dark Pulse, super strong stab moves like Discharge, Thunder, Thunderbolt. Pain Split is really nice if I'm running it more defensively. Shadow Ball, even gets Sucker Punch. I think that's useful. Will-O-Wisp, Charge Beam would be something a little bit interesting. Even Scarf Electro Ball would be kind of cool. Electro Web is super cool to lower speed. Overall, yet again, this isn't the greatest mon in the world. I'll say that right now. It's one of those things like with Scizor and Conch and maybe even Gyarados. You'll say, yeah, it's a special attacker, not much more. Let me get my special wall. But at the end of the day, having Trick, having a fantastic way to just Volt Switch, give me momentum, being able to Pain Split, things like that. There's little things like that make Rotom-C so valuable. I'm really excited to have it. Fits pretty darn well with my core here of Gyarados and Victini being a ground immune. Overall, my Grass Fire Water Core is pretty offensive, but nonetheless, I do feel like it is pretty potent. So that's about it for this page. I think these are my draft picks in order. But next up, we are going to go over to, let's see here. Right here, now this, I'm actually really excited to have all these mons, except for Diglett. I'll explain why. Anyway, Miltank. Miltank is super nice. It can be super bulky on both sides. You do see the base 70 SpDef, which isn't the greatest SpDef ever, but then you see the fact that it has thick fat, which is super nice. It can be a grass immune with Sap Sipper, which is cool. Scrappy is nice for things like Seismic Toss and Body Slam. It's a rocker. Its speed is pretty respectable. If I do show you the speed just real quick, if I give it like timid max speed, 328 base 100 is not bad at all. Now yet again, this thing does get things like Stealth Rock, but can also Heal Bell. It gets reliable recovery. Iron Head, Seismic Toss is really cool. Toxic, it can be really bulky. Overall, Miltank, I was low on rockers, and Miltank just really fits the bill for me. Now, if I go back to this team, I don't have the best fighting type answers. Like, I feel like I do have a few, obviously in the form of Crobat, Diancie, I can't think, Hoopa, Scizor, even Victini. I don't have the greatest fighting answers, but Miltank does really fit the build of me for this entire team, and I'm super glad to have it. Next up, Diglett. I drafted Leafeon for my last pick, my tier 6 pick, before my 3 points picks over here. And I realized I already have a grass type. But now I really regret dropping Leafeon because it did fit really well with the team. Unfortunately, I grabbed Diglett, which is a way worse version than Dugtrio or Trapinch. I didn't really look at its stats before I said, oh hey, I'm dropping Leafeon for Diglett. So I might actually have to use another transaction to get rid of it. We do have 3 trades and 3 free agent picks, and I already used 1. Diglett's almost useless, however, it can Arena Trap, and it can, I believe, Memento. Yeah, it can Memento. So overall, it can be moderately nice. It can Stealth Rock even. I guess it can get rid of weakened threats. So honestly, I wasn't too happy after I saw its stats that I got it. But the more I look at it, the more I'm like, I can possibly make this work. Don't be mad at me because this was a garbage pick. I'll try to use it. Shay said he wants me to use it at least once. So I'll try to fulfill that request and use it at least one time to the best of its ability. Not much to say about it. You guys know how, Dugtrio is. 0 defense, but some redeeming qualities in its ability and attack, and slightly in its move pool. Next up, Diancie, another rocker. I absolutely love it because, like, if you look at these bars right here, without even going over here, base 150, SpDef, and defense mean if I invest in one, I'm absolutely broken on one side, and I don't even have to really invest in the other. The only issue is really its speed and its HP, but otherwise it gets, Diamond Storm, Earth Power, it can Gyro Ball, it's a Heal Bell user, it can Moonblast, Step Trick Room, it can Stealth Rock, so many things. I was so excited to see that this was still here, and Clear Body super nice too. I was so excited to see that this is still here because it's so bulky, it's a great rocker. It's my fairy type, which is, I didn't get the best fairy in the world, but it's a great defensive fairy. The only issue is its ×4 steel weakness, but of course I feel like I have answers to that too. So I think this thing fits super well on the team. It's not the best fairy I could have grabbed, but then again, it was a tier 5, I think, a tier 5 or a tier 6. So at the end of the day, I think I did a fantastic job with Diancie. Yeah, it's super versatile yet again. It can be run offensively because of such high defensive stats, or I can run it super defensively and have it really hard to break through. And yeah, that's all I can really say about it. We do have Noivern as our second points pick. Noivern is super nice because of its speed, most strikingly. Alright, special attack. A special attack isn't super high, but I mean, with its speed being as high as it is, with its speed being as high as it is, 345 without a positive speed nature, you can absolutely run Adamant. And then look, its special attack goes super high. Its 3 abilities aren't the best. Frisk is alright. It can be moderately useful. Infiltrator is probably its best. But you can run things like Specs. You can run Scarf. I actually ran Scarf in my week 1 match. Life Orb. It does get Switcheroo with Trick 1 to 2. Overall, I keep saying overall a lot, but it does have a big niche offensively. It has a pretty good move pool as well. Boom Burst, it gets Hurricane, Air Slash, Dragon Pulse, and Draco, Heat Wave, Hyper Voice, as I said, Psychic, Shadow Ball, Switcheroo. Super Fang is actually really nice. Also, Crobat gets that. It can U-turn for momentum. Wild Charge even though its attack isn't very great. Really like this. I was lacking a truly potent special attacker outside of, I believe, just Victini and maybe even Rotom. But I'm really glad I grabbed this. It is times. Oh, I actually picked my week 1 team. It is 4 times weak to ice, but of course I have answers to that, being, AV Conch, Scizor. Basically these 3 mobs are the answers to everything, and then there's like Diancie and Miltank as the secondary defensive answers. Now the last one I did grab is Hoopa as our wild card. Hoopa is very nice because it can be a spin blocker, but it's also so good special attack wise. It has a pretty great SpDef as well. The only real glaring issues with it is defense and speed, which can be kind of fixed. It gets Destiny Bond, Dark Pulse. Super great move pool yet again. It can get Gunk Shot, Ice Punch, Knockoff, Hyperspace something, I think. Does it get? Yeah, it gets Hyperspace Fury and Hyperspace Hole. Of course, Hyperspace Fury isn't stab, but it's still a great move. Size Shock, it can taunt. I pretty much grabbed this because it was another great potent special attacker that can fill a lot of niches. Of course, its attack is super high. Only real issues is defense and HP and speed. Not a huge deal because Hoopa won't exactly be used in the most defensive way on my team. Definitely not. And of course, it is ×4 weak to Dark and Ghost. But I do have answers to that, as I said. So that is the team. That's the entire team. I know I didn't really give the most in-depth of analyses here. But of course, you guys know what these mons do. If you guys have played a lot of mons, you guys do know that these are actually great threats. I feel like I drafted super well with the exception of Diglett. I feel like I did draft incredibly. There's a lot of synergy here in my opinion, and I'm super glad to show you guys that. The only thing I don't really have is a steel type for my Dragon Steel Fairy Core. But all in all, this team works to me. This team absolutely works. In fact, I might do a live where I build teams based purely off what I drafted and see how I do on the ladder. I feel like that'd be kind of fun. Now for week 1. I know I'm talking so fast. I'm talking a lot. Stick with me, guys. We're almost to the end. We got this, boys. Anyway, I brought Scarf Noivern. About to be Batty. I know that's a terrible name. I picked Batty because Batty means insane or crazy. So I was about to say, you know, it's about to get crazy up in here. I sound so white. Kill me, please. But anyway, Draco, Boom Burst, HP Ice, and Air Slash. The reason I'm not running Infiltrator is because I have Boom Burst. Draco is super strong. HP Ice was for a plethora of ice weaknesses that that Sneaky and the Edmonton Emolgas did have. I did play them for week 1, by the way. But he did have a lot of ice weaks. He didn't really have too many answers to that. He had like Honedge and not Honedge, Deblade and Starmie as his real, potential ice switches. Of course, they used Scarf because I'd be faster than his entire team no matter what he scarfed. With the exception of Thunderous, only if he ran Prankster. Next up, we do have E-Belt Victini because he didn't have a very fast team with T-Bolt, Glaciate, U-Turn, and Flamethrower. U-Turn is fantastic for momentum. I didn't have really a need to run Psychic moves because he didn't really have anything that would be badly affected by Psychic moves. Glaciate, yet again, destroyed his team. Didn't really have an answer to it because it drops speed by 1 when it hits. Thunderbolt was just a strong move. He had like Starmie, and I mean he had something else that was weak to Electric, so I was like, I'll throw that on. And Flamethrower as the 1 stab, but a stab that is nonetheless very potent. E-Belt just makes all these moves so much stronger. Next up, we do have Lemonbug V2. God, I hate my names. I named it V2 because I had Scizor last year, as I've said about 100 times. Leftovers, Bulky SD. I love Bulky SD because it did actually really run through his team when he didn't have Deblade. And with Knockoff, I could kind of neutralize Deblade with the ability to knock off its Violite and just boost up on it. Roost is really nice because of his bulk. His Deblade can't wear me down. Basically, the goal was set up on Deblade and try to win from there. So I do feel like I did alright there. Next up, we do have, lastly, Utter Dominance, or not lastly, but we do have Utter Dominance, the Miltank. It was our Stealth Rocker for this match. Milk Drink was super nice. Seismic and Shadow Ball. I totally should have had Scrappy, so then I could have Seismic Tossed the Deblade. But I didn't think about that, so LOL. I did make this thing kind of bulky on both ends with minus attack because that doesn't affect Seismic Toss. It was our main rocker, and Shadow Ball was for the Deblade because I forgot about Scrappy entirely. I'll tell you what, just quick spoiler, I did Shadow Ball the Deblade and it did 14. So I don't think I'm ever going to be doing that again because base 40 special attack isn't the best. But I did really like Miltank for this because it was pretty hard for him to break through, and Seismic Toss would slowly wear down his whole team. So I think Miltank did its job. Obviously wasn't created to do a lot offensively, but as long as it stayed alive, it was great. Next up, we do have Lake of Rage, our Gyarados. The reason, if you guys couldn't tell, I named it Lake of Rage, is because when you find shiny Gyarados in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, here's a fun fact, it was in the Lake of Rage. So anyway, Lake of Rage really actually ruined his team. Dragon Dance, Waterfall, Ice Fang, and Crunch. With the base 130 Spadef it gets when it Mega Evolves, and the fact that it's not 4 times weak to Electric, I could take on his Thundurus incredibly. I could Dragon Dance once or twice and just sweep from there. So that was pretty much the goal. Also, the point was to keep Rocks pretty much entirely out of the question for this team, because Gyarados got worn down the first time I switched in. And then just D-Dance and sweep. I did really weaken his team with Noivern and Victini. When you look at the team matchup, I actually just destroyed him with these 3. Or if I didn't destroy, I severely weakened. So more or less, the point of Gyarados was to sit in the back and wait until most things were weakened, and then just D-Dance once or twice and just come out and destroy. Lastly, we do have Quadcopter, the Crobat, Dark Pulse, Defog, Braver, and Roost. Dark Pulse was there for the Diglett, with Brave Bird just as a strong stab. Roost and Defog are just staples. Not much to say about it, just pretty much what Crobat does, just defogs and kind of hits a little bit until it dies. I should have had U-turn on this for more momentum, but I thought, considering all, because I had 2 mons that had U-turn, and one of them was a slow U-turner, I feel like I had enough momentum at that point to where I didn't really need U-turn. But yeah, that is the team. I will show you guys the replay, or actually I recorded it live very, very soon. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more. Tell me what you guys think about my team, what I could change, what I could get, things like that. I do love my team. I did play the Edmonton Emolgas week 1. You guys will see how that goes. But I will talk to you guys soon.